welcome today. Today, I have the rare privilege of interviewing a man about town, one of the fanciest dancers I know, and an amazing jazz musician and longtime macrobotic who you just have to hear the guy to understand him. So this is Tommy Trujillo. Okay,
How you doing, Scott?
doing good, doing good.
Looking good. I like that outfit.
Thank you. It's my interview outfit.
Oh, okay, okay. I have to be, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So when I'm in this outfit, most likely I'm either teaching elementary school or interviewing somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're a
Um,
great teacher, so
oh, thank you. Thank you. Um,
glad to
so
be here.
Tommy, one thing that when we first got to talking, which is like 5 or 6 years ago, I think, wasn't it? Anyway, we were talking and you mentioned that you had been or were still are, I'm pretty sure, 50 years macrobiotic.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 50 years, like, vegetarian, vegan, macrobiotic.
Tell me what that means to you. What does macrobiotic mean to you?
Well, I found out about it, like around 50 over, probably over 50 years ago. And I think I just read a book in the 60s. And I just read through it and I said, oh, this makes sense. It just made a lot of sense. And at that time, a lot of jazz musicians were eating macrobiotic, a lot of big name guys.
Mhm.
Um, I think I found out Keith Jarrett
Mhm.
and Jack DeJohnette, even Coltrane was, I think, eating that way. It's just kind of one of those things,
Hold on just a second. I lost your sound for a second there. Try it again.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in a band, and this was a few years after I like looked through this book, and it just looked cool. But I was experimenting with different ways of eating because I had allergies when I was a kid, and I was getting shots for them, and I had appendicitis. They took it out, had
Mhm.
operation, so feeling pretty bad, and I was eating a lot of sugar, and the 60s, a lot of stuff was going on. So
Right.
uh, I didn't do a lot, but I did enough to, get a little spaced out and a little concerned about my condition. So I started looking into stuff, and for my allergies primarily, and I was investigating all the vegetarian stuff, fasting, raw food stuff. There's a whole lot of things going on in the 60s, and I got with this band, the guy that wrote the Monster Mash.
Oh.
He co-wrote it with the guy that sang it. His name was Lenny Capizzi, and he was
Uh-huh.
here from the East Coast. He was like an he used a lot of heavy drugs, and so he was on his way to recovery. And this is one of the methods that he was using, and uh, and his whole band was like, kind of involved with it. They were from Boston. That was kind of a center for macrobiotics.
Right. Right.
They were very good musicians, but I thought they were crazy. They were eating seaweed and all kinds of stuff. I was like, these guys are a little nutty. But I went to the study house, who was run by, I forget the person's
Is
name.
that Carrie Wolf?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a few people there, involved. Don Honoroff, I remember
Mhm.
his name. Surprised I remember his name. It's been so long. And then, they had people come to lecture. They had cooking classes. It was Charlie Chaplin's old house. They lived
Oh.
they lived right next door to Ozzie and Harriet. It's on Franklin Avenue. But it
Mhm.
was a big house, and they turned it into like a study house.
Mhm.
And so, I was just very skeptical about it, because there's a lot of like culty kind of things happening, cults and stuff. It's like, I don't know about these people. And so I checked it out, and I said, looks really good, but I didn't want to get involved in that kind of, situation if that's what it was. So I had
Mhm.
somebody I said, show me what to do so I don't have to be feeling like I have to come back here and join or anything. I just want to check it out.
Mhm.
So one of the cooks there just showed me, yeah, you just cook, grains, vegetables, blah, blah, blah. And then I did it myself. I said, okay, fine, I can go back and I don't feel like compelled, to have to go. And they had some people lecturing but it sounded a little off only because it was kind of, fragmented and everything. But I did experience a big change in the way that I felt. And after about a week, because I was eating kind of like raw food and, fruitarian.
Hmm.
I noticed after eating like macrobiotic for about a week, I went back, and before that, fruit didn't even taste good anymore to me. I was kind of like
Hmm.
overly, eating it, saturated, I guess. And after that week of eating more balanced, and then I tried to eat just a little piece of pear, and it was too sweet. I couldn't eat it.
Hmm.
So I said, "Whoa, something's going on with this stuff. This stuff is, you know,
Powerful.
yeah." And so from then I started studying, and then they had uh, teachers coming from Boston that would study with Michio Kushi, and they kind of cleared up a lot of misperceptions that I think were being presented at the time by the people that were there that didn't have as much experience and information. And they basically told me, no, you don't have to do this. Macrobiotics is not you just eat brown rice, you just eat this, you eat whatever you want, but you know how to balance it.
Right. Right.
Everybody's different. You got to find out what that is. And just try to eat better. You just try to eat healthy. You don't have to be so strict. I said, okay, well, this sounds a little bit more, reasonable. And,
Mhm.
and so I kept doing it, and I'm still doing it today. And actually, I feel better today than when I started.
There you go. It's a testimony to
I may
that.
not look better, but I feel better.
You know, there's something about being 20 or whatever.
Oh, well, yeah, that was just about that. I was about 20. Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
about 19,
Uh,
20.
so you've been playing music for pretty much your whole life, I think. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, your dad introduced you to,
He made me practice.
uh-huh, okay.
Made me rebel, and then I didn't want to play anymore. I was playing the clarinet when I was a kid, but it was very
Ah,
good that I did that because that helped me in music when I
mm-hmm,
started doing it myself as a teenager.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what, when you have a piece of music in front of you and you may be playing with a band, or you may be playing by yourself, what is it that you think of when you see the music? What what happens in your mind when you either read the music or jam with people that you can share with people who are interested in music?
Well, I think music is well, of course, because I'm a musician. That's my job. But I think everybody likes music, some kind of music, and
Mhm.
every style, every type of music. There's good music there. It's not just uh, one music is like the best music. In fact, uh, some of the best music is some of it's very popular, some of it's not very well known, and it resonates with different people in different conditions at different places, and I think it's therapeutic. Without music, it would be kind of boring. And I
Yeah.
think everybody, if they had their preference, they would like to be involved in music in some way. In fact, you see all these actors, people that are famous, they want to be musicians. They want to play music because music is really alive. It's in the moment. It depends on what style that you play. Some music is a little bit more,
Mhm.
structured and everything. But yeah,
Well,
music is probably saved my life. Because
mm,
with music, it got me to understand principle, and this is one of the things I think that has made a lot of jazz musicians start investigating and got into macrobiotics too, is because it's basically the same principle.
mm,
And it's like uh, it's understandable. They get it, without having to
mm.
study the method as much because it's like in what they already do.
Yeah, it's so much about balance, isn't it?
It's basically, yeah, you're just making balance, and you can like in jazz, for instance, you can play whatever you want to play, but it's like in macrobiotics, you can eat whatever you want to eat, but you got to know how to balance it. If you're going to do something like over here, then you got to, okay, well, I got to do something over here now, otherwise it's just going to be like off balance, in trouble,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, you may be amused what I had for lunch today.
What did you have?
I made myself broccoli with spaghetti, I mean, separately. And then I got a piece of cod, a 4 to 5 ounce piece of cod, and put it in the middle of the fry pan and added thinly sliced pieces of lemon and apple all over it. And then I poured over that cream, which is not necessarily macrobiotic, but can be made macrobiotic, and cooked that for say half an hour. And then took that and took the fish and put it on top of the spaghetti and the broccoli, and made myself a sauce out of that using kuzu to thicken it. And made myself a nice little sauce over that. So with
Did you have
the
any left?
what was that?
You have any left? I'd like to have some
I
left.
know, right?
You are a very good cook, and I think probably a very good teacher of cooking. So I encourage anybody to, get any of your books or
Yeah,
study
yeah.
with you in any way. Because, Scott, I can attest, he's a very good cook.
Thank
Very,
you, thank you. And Tommy's a, a food aficionado, so
I like to eat. I like to eat. So, you make something good. Even if it's not good, I want to eat.
yeah, yeah.
And early on, I noticed, like one of Michio's lectures, he was talking about how salt was in a ratio of 7 to 1. The amount of salt that you eat, you have to eat like 7 times more fat, 7 times more carbohydrate, 7 times more protein. It's not
Interesting.
necessarily in that order, but 7 times everything. And so, like, salt is, you need salt, but it's very powerful. It's a very small but very powerful part of what you eat, and you have to be careful with it. So for, I think, even many years, I used very little salt, and I probably should have used more, but I think the fact that I used less maybe, caused that to happen. I've been very mindful of salt, because once you start eating macrobiotic, you can tell you eat too much salt. It's like when you go to the movie theater, you buy popcorn, it's very salty. And what do you want? You want a soda pop. And that's how it works, yin and yang, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that that's what they're going through. They're just reacting and doing things. I feel like I need that. And they do. And they should get something to alleviate that, because that imbalance is happening.
So do you want to do a shout out for Michelle?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hi, Michelle. I'm here. I'm finally doing. She's been bugging me to do this kind of stuff for a long time, and thanks to her and you, here we go.
And let people know about what she does. So if they
Oh, Michelle Williams is my girlfriend, and she is involved with macrobiotics and has been doing it for like a number of years now. And she's much better and knowledgeable than I am. Even though I studied with really great teachers, I've got a whole bunch of books and I've never read them. I'm primarily into, I'm a musician. I'm into my music, and that's been taking most of my time and efforts and stuff. But she is very involved, and she actually has a very good website. And
I'll put up her particulars on the screen.
yeah, it's at thefreedomfairy.com, and she has a Patreon, she has a YouTube channel, she has a TikTok, Instagram, she has all that stuff. Women, usually a little better at some things than we can be at sometimes. So I really try to support her, and I recommend her to anybody that is interested in eating better and getting recipes, and she has a very good way of expressing and sharing this information. So the Freedom Fairy, look out for the Freedom Fairy. She'll make you fly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Tommy, for doing this. It's awesome to actually see you again, and to hear your experience both with music, life, and macrobiotics. And I'm sure you're gonna, that this video will inspire somebody on one of those 3 counts at least, so.
Well, thank you. And I would definitely want to recommend Scott Sayer, for anybody that wants to, change, improve, their,
They're
their health,
thinking,
their thinking, their health, everything. He's a good guy, and he has some good information, and he's willing to share it with people.